I open this? From AIM.
Your account, aren't you?
Oh, this is round table. I've been to so many of them things. None of them are here local.
And come on,
8:10.
you know. Just need to look that size, the big one.
Yes. It's on.
Those are all.
It's on.
There you go. Okay. All right. We'll call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the
United States of
America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, that's for approval of the March minutes and the March 12th work session.
I make it a motion to approve the March meeting minutes and the minutes for the March work session.
Second.
Any questions?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Brown asks for approval of the March treasury report.
Make a motion to approve the March Treasurer's report.
I second.
Questions?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Police department.
So a little while ago, Shane sent an email out about 3 unpaid tickets for town ordinances. I didn't respond to that. Just curious where we're at with that. And the reason we haven't issued any more is still curious to see how those unpaid are going to fare. But just to let you know, we can help with that in any way if need be with that. Patrol hours were down, at least for me. Shane's been pulling quite a bit of the weight due to the schedule change that I had at New Court in Crawfordsville. So we went to a 5 and 2 versus the 4 on 4 off that I had previously. Hopefully things can change with that in the near future. I'm just not having a lot of time at home. So I'm obviously trying to get over here as much as I can. There is a great possibility that we could have possibly 2, maybe more experienced officers from another agency here within the state of Indiana, obviously. However, it's in the early stages of that. So we will keep you guys informed on how that plays out on the very, very beginning stages. We don't really have an open hiring process right now, just due to some budget constraints, which leads into the last point. Since I reached out to Scott just to double check that we could approach companies that would help us apply for grants and help our funding. Scott said that was discussed in the meeting, that was decided. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with that. Also reassuring the public and the town board too, that we will not be paying anything to those said companies. The only time that they will collect a fee is when their services actually get us the grant. So we will put that into the agreement, which most of the companies are pretty good with that they don't get paid unless we actually get the grant. So that's about where we're at with most of the position. I think Shane's been helping out with various things here at the building. So wanted to thank him for that.
Still need to check with him too about the lights in the gym.
He's on the meeting. Shane's on the meeting.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
The last time we tried to rent, there was a problem with payment. So if we can get that payment piece figured out, we can get that scheduled.
Okay, I'll leave that up to you and Leah to work out. All right, anything else from you? Looks like we're going to be skipping over the fire. How about the park?
Nothing right now. We have a meeting next Tuesday.
Next, okay.
Yep, the 14th.
Any word on the slide going in? We had to move it. I didn't know if you knew about it. It's down in a different room.
I haven't heard anything either. Kelsey said she contacted them, but I plan on going to their meeting the last Saturday of the month and ask regarding that. And ask about the things in the hall being lifted above the stairs and into the museum.
Oh, got you. All right, anything on the community center?
I don't really have too much other than we need to order the ceiling tiles that are the longer ones.
Leah, did you not get some of those?
No, I didn't get square ones. So those go in the cafeteria, is that right?
Yeah. Also, there are some lights out in some of the rooms. I know we've got light bulbs. We just need somebody who's willing to climb and put them in.
Like classrooms?
Mhm.
That's something Cody can do.
I don't know if he's gonna do it or not.
Okay.
Do we have bowls for those already?
Anything else?
Lois, we might be able to help out with that
Pardon?
if we're in town. We might be able to help out with that. Do we have a ladder and stuff?
Yeah, there's ladders.
The lighters in the same closet the lights on.
We might be able to-
Yes, crawl from the boiler.
Okay, the LaSure lot on Main Street. Darla said she spoke with Brian Sample about obtaining an appraisal. She's just waiting to hear back from him on a quote, what he would charge to do it. We have to get at least one if we're going to sell it. If not, then my recommendation is we keep it and we make it parking since there is
That's what I
no
was gonna
parking
say.
in the town. So we have
That's what I
some
was
place for
gonna say,
people to
too.
pull in. So hopefully we'll hear something back by next meeting. Road repairs on Main Street on the drainage.
Is that,
That's
downtown?
Trent, yep.
I met with him last Thursday, and spoke with him about it, and he told me he was going to get with you that day.
His email was today.
So, I don't have anything further on that.
And what about it for sales?
He said he thought that was going to be an easy fix. And then he started looking and I said, is this where the drain comes out? Because it looks like that pipe is crushed, the end of that pipe, and it's forcing the water over the sidewalk versus down the side. So he said he was going to talk to you about it.
Okay, he's getting a call tomorrow. Just so everybody knows, that's Trent is the guy that is with Snedeker Construction that we're having him give us prices on, and they did the work on some other drainage that we had problems here in town. Wait, you had to put that right there on top. All right, resolution 2026-1 FEMA mitigation plan. Is this one being adopted tonight, correct?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So for the second reading, introducing ordinance number 2026-1. I move that ordinance number 2026-1 be submitted for, it's not for the first reading. This is the second reading.
I second.
Boy. Resolution number 2026-1, a resolution of the town of Steinsville adopting the Monroe County Mitigation Plan. Whereas the town of Steinsville recognizes the threat that natural hazards pose to people and property within the town of Steinsville, and whereas the town of Steinsville has adopted a multi-hazard mitigation plan hereby known as the Monroe County Mitigation Plan in accordance with federal laws, including the Robert T. Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act as amended, the National Flood Insurance Act of 1968 as amended, and the National Dam Safety Program Act as amended. And whereas the Monroe County Mitigation Plan identifies mitigation goals and actions to reduce or eliminate long-term risks to people and property in the town of Steinsville from the impacts of future hazards and disasters, and whereas adoption by the town of Steinsville demonstrates its commitment to hazard mitigation and achieving the goals outlined in the Monroe County Mitigation Plan. Now therefore be it resolved by the town of Steinsville in that section 1, in accordance with IC 36348, the town of Steinsville adopts the Monroe County mitigation plan. While contents related to the town of Steinsville may require revisions to meet the plan approval requirements, changes occurring after adoption will not require the town of Steinsville to re-adopt any further iterations of the plan. That's a new one. Subsequent plan updates following the approval period for this plan will require separate adoption resolutions. I move that ordinance number 2026-1 be adopted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. One down.
That was a short one.
Yeah. All right, guys. I hate doing these things. All right, 2026-3, establishing unsafe building law ordinance. Is this an adoption for tonight too? All right, I move that ordinance number 2026-3 be adopted on the same day of which it is introduced. Well, it says actually it's second reading.
Second.
Okay, in accordance with the town of Steinsville, Monroe County, Indiana, adopting the provisions of Indiana Code 3679 titled Unsafe Building Law, whereas the town of Steinsville, the town council of Steinsville, Monroe County, Indiana, is committed to protect and promote the physical and mental health and social well-being of the citizens, and to prevent and control the incidence of blight and communicable diseases, to reduce environmental hazards to the health and safety, and to regulate privately and publicly owned buildings for the purpose of maintaining adequate sanitation and public health by establishing legislation which provides for the administration and enforcement of minimum standards for safety from fire and accidents, and use, location, and amount of space for human occupancy, and the determination of owners, operators, and occupants of buildings. And whereas the town council of Steinsville, being the legislative body of the town, may adopt Indiana Code 3679 titled Unsafe Building Law by ordinance. And whereas the ordinance must specify the executive department of the unit responsible for the administration of Indiana Code 3679 or establish such a department. And whereas the ordinance must also incorporate by reference the definition of substantial property interest. Now therefore be it ordained by the town council of Steinsville, Monroe County, Indiana, that the following ordinance is hereby adopted. Section 1, adoption of the Indiana Unsafe Building Law under the provisions of Indiana Code 3679 as it reads currently, and as may be amended from time to time, there is hereby established the town of Steinsville Unsafe Building Law, Indiana Code 36791 through Indiana Code 367929 are hereby adopted by reference as the town of Steinsville Unsafe Building Law, and all proceedings within the town for the inspection, repair, and removal of unsafe buildings shall be governed by this law and the provisions of this subchapter. In the event the provisions of this subchapter conflict with the provisions of 36791 through Indiana Codes 367929, then the provisions of the state statute shall control. Administration, the town marshal of the town of Steinsville or its designated representative, who shall be hereinafter referred to as the inspector, is authorized to administer this ordinance in accordance with provisions and procedures set forth in the Indiana Unsafe Building Law, shall be the town's enforcement authority, and shall proceed under the provisions of this ordinance to order the repair or removal of any buildings found to be unsafe as specified herein. Section 3, definition. The terms unsafe building and unsafe premises shall have the definition set forth in Indiana Code 36794 and are hereby supplemented to include without limitation any building or structure that has any or all of the following conditions or defects, provided that such conditions or defects exist to the extent that life, health, property, or safety of the public or its occupants are endangered. 1, whenever any door, aisle, passageway, or any means of exit is not of a sufficient width or size or is not so arranged as to provide a safe and adequate means of exit in case of fire or panic. Whenever the walking surface of any aisle, passageway, stairway, or any other means of exit is so warped, worn, loose torn, or otherwise unsafe as to not provide safe and adequate means of exit in case of fire or panic. Whenever the stress in any materials, members, or portions thereof due to all dead and live loads is more than 1 1/2 times the working stress or stresses allowed for new buildings of similar structures, purpose, or location. whenever any portion thereof has been damaged by fire, earthquake, wind, flood, or by any other cause to such an extent that the structural strength or stability therefore is materially less than it was before such catastrophe, oh my goodness, catastrophe, and is less than the minimum requirements for new buildings, similar structure, purpose, or location. Whenever any portion, member, or prudence thereof is likely to fail, to become detached or dislodged, or to collapse and therefore injure persons or damage property. Whenever any portion of a building or any member of prudence or ornamentation on the exterior thereof is not of sufficient strength or stability, or is not so anchored, attached, or fastened in place so that the capable of resisting a wind pressure of 1/2 of that specified for new buildings of similar structures, purpose, or location without exceeding the working stresses permitted for such buildings. Whenever any portion thereof has racked, warped, buckled, or settled to such an extent that the walls or other structural portions have materially less resistance to wind or earthquake than is required in the case of similar new construction. Whenever the building or structure of any portion thereof, because of dilapidation, deterioration, or decay, faulty construction, the removal, movement, or instability of any portion of the ground necessary for the purpose of supporting such buildings, the deterioration, decay, or inadequacy of its foundation or any other cause is likely to partially or completely collapse. Whenever for any reason the building or structure or any portion thereof is manifestly unsafe for the purpose for which it is being used, and whenever the exterior walls or other vertical structures, members, lifts, leans, or buckles to such an extent that the plumb line passing through the center of gravity does not fall inside the middle of 1/3 of the base. Whenever the building or structure is exclusive of the foundation, shows 33% or more damage or deterioration of its supporting member or members, or 50% damage of deterioration of its non-supporting members, enclosing or outside walls or coverings. Whenever the building or structure has been so damaged by fire, wind, earthquake, or flood, or has become a dilapidated or deteriorated so as such to become an attractive nuisance to children or freely accessible to persons for the purpose of committing unlawful acts. Whenever any building or structure has been constructed, exists, or is maintained in violation of any specific requirement or prohibition applicable to such buildings or structure provided by the building regulations of this town, or of any law or ordinance of this state or town relating to the condition, location, or structure of buildings. Whenever any building or structure, which whether or not erected in accordance with all applicable laws or ordinances, has any non-supporting parts, members, or portion less than 50%, or in any supporting part, member, or portion less than 66% of the strength, fire-resisting qualities or characteristics, or weather-resisting qualities or characteristics required by law, in the case of a newly constructed building of like era, height, and occupancy in same location. Whenever a building or structure used or intended to be used for dwelling purposes because of inadequate maintenance, dilapidation, decay, damage, faulty construction, or arrangement, inadequate light, air, or sanitation facilities, or otherwise is determined to be unsanitary, unfit for human habitation, or in such a condition that is likely to cause sickness or disease. Whenever any building or structure, because of obsolescence, I'm not sure, dilapidated conditions, deterioration, damage, inadequate exist, or lack of sufficient fire-resistant construction is determined to be a fire hazard. And when any portion of the building or structure remains on a site after the demolition or destruction of the building or structure, or whenever any building or structure is abandoned for a period in excess of 6 months so as to constitute such building or portion thereof an attractive nuisance or hazard to the public, substantially property interest, the definition of substantial property interest found in IC 36792, as may be amended and is hereby incorporated by reference herein as if copied in full. Hearing authority. The town council shall serve as the hearing authority. Unsafe building fund. An unsafe building fund is hereby established in the operating budget of the town in Steinsville in accordance with Indiana Code 367914. Declaration of public nuisance. Unsafe buildings and unsafe premises are hereby declared to be public nuisance and are therefore also subject to enforcement, abatement, fines, and penalties. Penalties. Any person violating any provision of this chapter shall be subject to a fine, being the first violation fine shall be $500, with the next violation of $1,000, and then all violations after being $2,500. The assessment of a monetary penalty shall in no way limit the operation of the penalties provided elsewhere in this ordinance. Any person violating the provisions of this ordinance commits a Class C infraction for each day such violation continues. This ordinance shall be in full force and effective upon passage of the Town Council of Stein,sville and publication thereof according to law, passed and adopted by the Town Council of Stein,sville, Indiana, the 7th day of April, 2026. So I move that ordinance number 2026-03 be adopted.
Second.
All right, ordinance number 2026-5, the dog ordinance. And this one is for today too, right?
Right, I think you read it last meeting.
Yep. All right, I move that ordinance number 2026-5 be adopted the same day as which it is for the second reading. Sorry, I keep saying for the way it's been.
Second.
An ordinance to amend ordinance 2012-7, establish regulations concerning the confinement of dogs within the town limits. Be it ordained and adopted by the Town Council of Stein,sville, Indiana as follows. Ordinance 2012-7 is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 1, all dogs must be kept on their owner's property. If taken off the owner's property, all dogs must be on a leash or under supervision. No owner or keeper of any dog shall permit the dog to run at large upon any street, alley, or public place within the town. All owners of dogs must be able to provide proof of vaccinations. Section 2, female dogs while in heat must be confined in an enclosed area. Section 3, dogs running loose will be subject to being picked up by the Monroe County Animal Control or any other law enforcement officer, including Stein,sville Police Department. Dog's owner will be responsible for paying all fines imposed by the ordinance to the town or any animal shelter fees before the animal is released from the shelter. Section 4, every person keeping an animal in town shall see that such animal is 1, is kept in a clean, sanitary, and healthy manner and is not confined as to be forced to stand, sit, or lie in its own excrement. The persons responsible for animals shall regularly and as often as necessary to prevent odor or health and sanitation problems maintain all animal areas or areas of animal contact. 2, has food that is appropriate for the species in adequate amounts to maintain good health, fresh, potable drinking water where appropriate, shelter and ventilation, including quarters that are protected from excessive heat and cold and are sufficient size to permit the animal to move about freely. Any person who harbors, feeds, cares, houses, etc., a dog for 3 days shall be presumed to be the owner and shall comply with this ordinance. Section 5, any person who violates any provisions of this ordinance shall be fined $50 for each violation. A separate offense shall be deemed committed upon each day during which a violation occurs or continues. Section 6, any law enforcement officer or any other person having authority to impound animals who has probable cause to believe there has been a violation of this ordinance or IC 1521-4, dog bite liability criminal offense, may take custody of the animal involved and transport it to the nearest shelter. Section 7, it shall be unlawful for any person to own, keep, or harbor any dog which is by loud and frequent barking, howling, or yelping shall cause annoyance or disturbance of any to the citizens of the town. Section 8, no dog shall be allowed in the playground area of the Stein,sville Community Center at any time. Section 9, no dog shall be allowed at the, it's going to be a hard one to do, at the park at any time. This ordinance was passed and adopted by the Stein,sville Town Council this, what is today, 7th day of April, 2026. And do you care if we just go ahead and do these and get them out of the way and then go
No,
back to the
I'm
mowing?
cool
We'll
with that.
just move them.
While we're doing, let's do.
Oh, that's a, what?
Did somebody second that? I didn't hear it. Oh,
Kim.
I'll second.
Oh, And then we're moving the mowing bid down so we can get these others done.
I'll just try to give you a break.
All right, so ordinance 2026-7, handicap parking on Main Street. An ordinance to amend ordinance 2012-9, handicap parking on West Main Street, be it ordained and adopted by the Town Council of Steinsville, Indiana as follows. Ordinance 2012-9 is hereby amended to read as follows. Section 2, appropriate signs shall be erected and the street shall be marked for handicap parking. Section 3, any vehicle found parked in the designated space shall be found in violation and shall be fined a sum of $50. This ordinance was passed and adopted by the Town Board of Steinsville, Monroe County, Indiana, the 7th day of April, 2026. That was fast. And just so everybody knows, that's there by the store. We've had complaints of people not being able to get in.
I'll second it.
Say that horse.
Uh,
I know.
It's getting dry. All right, ordinance 2026-8, noise control ordinance. An ordinance to establish a noise control policy for the town of Steinsville. Ordinance 2012-10 is hereby amended to read as follows. Be it ordained and adopted by the Town and Council of Steinsville, Indiana as follows. Section 1, it is declared the public policy of the town to prohibit unreasonable, unusual, unnecessary, excessive, and offensive noises which are prolonged in their time, place, and use, and which are a detriment to the public health, comfort, convenience, safety, welfare, and prosperity of the residents of the town. Section 2, for the purpose of this ordinance, unreasonable noise shall mean sound that is of a volume, frequency, or pattern that disrupts, injures, or endangers the health, safety, or comfort of a reasonable person or ordinary sensitivities with the town, given the time of day or environment in which the sound is made. Section 3, except as otherwise provided, it shall be unlawful for any person to make, continue, or cause to be made or continued any unreasonable, unusual, unnecessary, excessive, or offensive noise in or on any real property or personal property occupied but and controlled by that person. Section 4, the designated quiet time for the town shall be set between the hours of 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Exceptions, Section 5, exceptions. The following are exempt from this ordinance. A public or community event which received prior approval from the town council can be exempted from this ordinance. Section 6, any person who violates this ordinance shall be fined $50 for each violation, and a separate offense shall be deemed committed upon each day during which a violation occurs or continues. The ordinance was passed and adopted by the Steinsville Town Council on the 7th day of April, 2026. A second?
I'll second.
Remember. Is this one going for the full circle? Okay, so. Ordinance 2026-9, I move that it's passed on the same day as well. An ordinance establishing a levy excess fund. Whereas the town of Steinsville town is a civil taxing unit for purposes of civil government property tax controls in the state of Indiana, and whereas the town has received notice from the state of Indiana Department of Local Government Finance and Budget Division that the town has received property taxes in excess of the certified levy for 2004 payable in 2005. And whereas IC 6-1.1-18.5-17 requires that if the town has received property taxes in excess of its certified levy, it must create a special fund to be known as the Civil Taxing Units Levy Excess Fund. Now therefore be it ordained by the Town Council of Town of Steinsville, Indiana, that there is hereby established a special fund to be known as the Levy Excess Fund for the town of Steinsville, that any property taxes in excess of the certified levy received by the town shall be transferred and held in the Levy Excess Fund. The Levy Excess Fund shall be maintained and operated in accordance with the requirements of IC 6-1.1-8.5-17. Pass.
Those years should be this
I was
year.
going to say, that's what I was getting ready to ask. That didn't sound right. So do we want to, somebody want to make a motion to amend that?
We're amending it to 24-25 or 25-26. 25-26. I make a motion that the dates for the levy excess fund be 2025 to 2026.
Second.
On favor?
Aye.
All right. So passed and adopted the 7th day of April, 2026 by the Town Council of the Town of Steinsville, Indiana. And just so you know, we don't have a lot of money, so there's not but just a few dollars there. All right. Do we want to go on with those bids or do we want to take any comments?
Up to you guys,
What do you want to do?
however you want to do it.
Take comments.
Or give me a break. So before we do any of the mowing bid openings, does anybody have any comments on any of the things that just passed? And if you don't understand the IC codes, I don't either, so we have to look. Nope.
I guess I may have one thing
Okay.
as far as the dogs. If we've not had an issue prior at all since being in the town with the animals, we shouldn't expect to have any trouble. I mean, our dogs bark at wildlife and deer that come through and stuff, but it's not a continuous.
Oh, no,
noise.
yeah, it's not
It's
anything
not
like
gonna
that.
be like pounded in kind of thing.
Mm-mm.
That's all I was really worried about. They're pretty good dogs, but they do bark.
It's pretty much adapted to the county.
Yeah.
We took theirs on, and what had happened in the past there where they've had people calling because the dog just sits there and howls all night long.
Yeah.
And somebody's either, maybe they're elderly or, sick and they're not getting any rest. And then they have to go out there and say, look, you got to do something to kind of calm them down or move them somewhere else just to give them a
That's
break.
understandable.
Yeah, so that's basically what that
If an issue
is.
does arise, I guess specifically with that, will we get, some kind of warning?
Oh, they'll come say
Yeah.
something too. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not just a ticket
Well,
issue.
we
Yeah.
get, like,
Yeah.
No. Now, if they come to you and say, hey, Steven, your dog's causing this problem, you need to take care of it. Okay. And then the next day, Steven, we just here last night. Hey, Steven, we're here.
Yeah,
wanna get a ticket
exactly.
then?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep,
Something like that.
understood.
And
Yeah.
all the ordinances that I believe, pretty much all of them, I'm not sure about the levy excess. I think that's something new because I've not seen that one in the past. But these are ordinances that have just been, we've had them in place since the
Yeah,
early
right,
90s.
that's-
They're just being updated, to
Yeah,
make them more current.
gotcha. That's why
Yeah.
I worked the way I did. If we've not had any kind
Yeah.
of problem or
Right.
issue in the past, we shouldn't suspect to have any in the
Right.
future. Cool.
And the town board's clear, but just so you guys are clear, if you've not really heard from Shane or I, but we try to approach this with some common sense.
Sure.
So if we get a call about a dog barking, we're gonna respond and hopefully get a hold of the people that are involved and try to have a conversation and try to get it figured out before we do really anything.
Absolutely.
Because our point is not, our main goal is not to, better words, tick everybody off in the town.
Yeah, you're not trying to
Stuff.
run the dogs out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hopefully where clear heads can prevail. I mean, I get
Yeah.
out my neighbors where I live too, but hopefully we can come to an agreement. Hey, what's really going on? And we can get to the bottom of it, talk to some people, maybe get the parties together if they're willing to talk to it. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I try to deal with it like adults.
Yep.
So, and if we're not doing that, please let us know. We're not perfect. So when we make mistakes, please let us know, hopefully in an adult way. I mean, I guess cussing us out is one way to do it, but we'd prefer that, talk about things like adults.
Yeah, sure.
We're not perfect, so we make
Dogs
mistakes.
that have free reins are a nuisance. They just don't want to do their business on their own yard. They'll go to everybody else's yard, or they just carry things away. You have something out, like a paintbrush you're drying, it might be found.
David Lois lost the paintbrush, didn't she?
Take things even out of basements.
If it ain't food, my dogs ain't interested.
We've got elephants, you'll see them coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they don't get out anyway. Paintbrush, Dixie'd laugh at that.
Yeah.
And yes, we would like to, unless we are advised otherwise, which obviously we're under the town's authority, right, the town board, but they also understand that we have some decision-making ability, we're adults too, so we try, unless it's a very serious situation, we're just gonna try to work our way into a ticket, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, we try to deal with stuff as it's progressing.
Sure.
So,
Another thing that I just thought of too, so in terms of like the loose dog comment and stuff like that, if like, say we're at work or something and our dogs break through their kennel or whatnot, like how is like, obviously we wouldn't be able to get to them until, we would get back from work, like how is that, I guess? How do you guys look at that in terms of Like,
I'm gonna say just during the day, you're taking a chance, because if one of the neighbors would call or somebody down there would call and they get animal control, that's out of our hands if they happen to come through and grab them. Other than that, you know, if you've got somebody that's willing
if
to,
you've got
hey,
a
your dog's
neighbor.
out,
Yeah.
I've got your dog for you or
And
something like
that's what
that,
I
you know.
think or would hope would happen. We've been
Yeah.
in town long enough.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Your
I
neighbor.
just wanted to. I
Yeah,
just wanted to
during the
ask.
day, it's always probably gonna be animal control getting called.
Yeah.
Has taken a dog that's like running loose that has a rope attached to it.
Yeah.
We try to find out where it belongs and retie it and give it hay and water and things like that, knowing the owner's trying, the dog just got
Yeah.
away.
And I know in the past, when our dogs had gone out in the past, I put on the little message board thing,
Mhm.
these are our dogs.
Yeah.
Like, they got out, but I just wanted to kind of just about that.
Yeah.
So.
If you guys, I mean, trying to be good neighbors, right?
Yeah.
If you guys know somebody that's usually in town, usually that's older, that doesn't really have a job, doesn't travel too much, if you want to leave your number, I mean, obviously it's completely up to you, but I would leave my number. That way, if you guys are unavailable,
Sure.
we can at least get with a neighbor, get your number, hopefully get, send you a text, FaceTime you something, and be like, hey, can you walk me through? Do you feel comfortable with me going in your house or whatever, trying to secure your dog? So we don't want to, we want to try every avenue before we guys cost you money.
Sure.
Makes sense,
Absolutely.
yeah. I just wanted to inquire about it. So.
Yeah.
What about solid waste, like the ordinance compliance for solid waste and stuff like that? We know who is that? Would that be you or would that be Shane? Who would be, I know that's one of the ordinances that is on the books and I don't see anybody enforcing it.
Good question.
If it was a
I would-
compliance officer, or if you got,
I would
Well,
need
it's
to
the
look.
brand new one.
He's
Yeah.
talking.
No, I guess I'm trying to understand your question. So are you looking for enforcement? Are you looking for interpretation? Are you?
Yeah,
Both.
one of the ordinances that's been on the books for a long time is just solid waste. And I know Steinsville's one that, is supposed to enforce that. So, obviously there's some stuff that's just like you're doing a construction project, stuff laying there, that's fine, right? But I don't know, I just think sometimes Steinsville gets the rap of being kind of not as, lightweight, just,
Picking on others,
what's up?
picking on some people, not others.
Well, that's true too. It does feel like it's not an equally enforced, but just, it's a little bit of like waste management and like, I don't want to say beautification, that's not the right word, but just, I don't know. I feel like there's lots of properties that there's just a lot of solid waste that never gets cleaned up. And, I'd even say, hey, here's my dump trailer. Could we just, there's stuff in there, I think Steinsville is really a pretty little town, but I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I just wonder if that was on your radar at all.
Currently, yes.
Okay.
As far as resolutions and actually not just issuing tickets and ticking people off. I know Shane and I have been approaching the town board and they've also talked about it in length about how to come up with something that's actually going to work and that's not going to be just short term. So obviously having both, right? So of course I'm talking in circles here, but there's really no definite decision and action to do. Still trying to figure out how to be fair, like you said. Not just pick on them.
What about all the E. coli that's in the creek? We don't own the creek. No, but the Board of Health came down on my property for a spring that goes across my property. They said it was fine. I told them to test the creek. They tested the creek and it's full of E. coli.
That would be a DNR issue as far as I know. I mean, we don't have anything to do with the creek. It's a natural waterway that's controlled by the Department of Natural Resources.
Saturday outfit.
Last year, Saturday, Sunday.
I don't think so.
How long ago was that they tested it?
Just a couple months.
I did one day.
I had them test it down there
Sure.
behind the lift station.
Next one.
The people that are here.
And
Yeah,
came back
We're
with
getting
E.
the trailer,
You can
when they
smell
bring
it.
it, they won't take it back on Sunday. they'll come back.
Yes, I believe you. I didn't know about that, though. Wow.
Should we do like?
So you're saying currently the solid
17
waste
maybe?
is not enforced. You guys are kind of working on a resolution to that. Is that what you're saying?
There's one on the books, but we're going, why we read a bunch of these tonight is we're with Brent and Shane. And we're going through and because like a lot of these ordinances have been done in like the early to mid '90s and they haven't been revised in so long. And we're working with the police department to get them revised and And we got to send them to our lawyer to get them approved and make sure they're following the state laws and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it's in the works.
I was just
Yeah.
trying to get some clarification on, what you were saying, so.
16, 17 foot. Good.
I mean, yeah, there's still one in effect, but like from our point of view, we've kind of told them to like, just go up and talk to people and not really enforce it without enforcing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Enforce it without fining, basically, and writing tickets.
More of a conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tickets.
No, that, it makes sense. I was
Until we get everything up to date.
Anything else? All right, well, we'll go on with the bids for mowing and plowing. Is that one bid in here for the park? From that young man?
I'm not sure what.
It is. Do we know
Does
which
it
one it
just
is?
say-
Because it needs to be separate. It's snow. Which one
I just wrote out.
it is? Oh, well, we'll just go and see what they do. This is just for mowing. Does the mowing bid for Steinsville, Zachary, is it Stout?
Mhm.
Okay. He wants a monthly rate of $850. Did you hear
Just
me over
mowing.
there? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just mowing.
Just mowing. Oh. So this one, is
That
the
one's
one that-
retracted.
Yep. I don't know. So this is just the park, so I'll read it last,
Okay.
because it'll be a separate thing for them. Although it's. Lawn care and snow plowing proposal, Cody Sylvester and Kenny Terrell. So, lawn care, treat like a street department, mow every week, weed eat main area every week, weed eat other areas as needed, pick up trash and limbs in mowing areas, maintain ditches and waterways, and do other small jobs as needed that we see or board sees, can discuss doing bigger jobs with board. Snow plowing, your priority is number one, treat like a street department, plow every 2 to 3 inches, clear doorways at school, treat asphalt roads after snowfall, and treat asphalt roads as needed possibly before snow and ice or after snowfall treatment. 2,000 a month or 2,500 monthly with mowing is, so 2,000 a month. If the township trustee doesn't cover the school mowing, then it would be additional $500. H&K Maintenance LLC. Lawn mowing and snow removal for 2026. Town Steinsville weekly mowing price includes mowing, weed eating, and blowing off clippings, weed eating bridge, sides, Olytic Park, McLaughlin Park. Oh, he put in the park and everything. Hogs Run, sign area at Maine and North Columbia, snow removal, 600 per push, salt applications, 350 per application. This is monthly. Or is that for the entire year?
I think that's your mowing amount per month. And that would be snow.
So we've got 575 for mowing, 600 for snow removal, and 350 for salt application. 1525. I don't know how this is broke down.
That's what I was getting ready. So how can you break that down? You're not gonna know how much snow you have. Unless that's just the amount he's gonna charge each time he has to do it.
Then each.
He's not here.
Nope,
Well, we aren't gonna make a decision tonight, right?
no. But we will within the next week because the grass is already stuck.
Right.
So, all right, so those are for the town. And then David's Lawn Care Services. It is for mowing the town park and Olytic Park as you come into town, and his is $500 a month.
And which is a Lydic.
Olytic is right there by the bridge.
Cars during the festival.
Right.
It's 325, and the park is 175.
That would be a park. That's for the parks.
Mm-hmm.
This is in site.
That would open.
Yep.
All right, well, those are all under advisement for a week. The park board meets next Tuesday, correct? So they'll have to do their thing then too.
Did you get a copy of that to Debbie, since she's on the park
Yeah.
board? And then she could discuss that at the park meeting.
All right, open for
Those other bids, did it have the part?
one to Terrell's, yeah.
Well,
I don't know if the other guys did or not.
the other guys,
He did. Yeah, he added it in there as well.
All ours will go together,
Yeah.
the park, the town, everything.
yeah, that's what tax was too.
Yeah.
Was
Do
it
any of
everything?
you guys include the schools? The school over here, or is that separate?
That's separate.
That's separate.
Yeah.
The trustee's been paying to have their guy mow. Yeah. Hopefully it keeps it up, so, but. All right, we're open for public comment. Might have anything? Yes, sir.
I'm Troy Carter, and Marilyn Carter, I think she punked me. She's not here tonight. Anyway, she contacted me about having a car show here in Steinsville. And I just want to know what you guys thought of the idea. I don't think we want a car show because to have a car show, you give out prizes and trophies and stuff. It gets into a lot of money then. But what I'm suggesting is maybe have a cruise in, like on a Friday night. I would like to do it around the school rather than versus downtown. That way we don't impede in the road. So I was just wanting to know what you guys thought about that. As far as numbers, it could be 10, it could be 150. You just never know. If you pick the right night and the weather's right, you know, it could be a lot of people, but I just said what you guys thought about that.
I'm all
That's pretty
for
cool,
it.
you know? Yeah.
I know that VDub used to do one here, but we would block off Main Street because they did their own setup down there, and then they did the prizes themselves and stuff, but I don't have a problem with it. I'm great with it.
Would that bring in money for the town?
Well,
Say so much there, but for the car, you know.
here's my ideal would be that, Kenny, that we wouldn't charge people, but we might hold a boot open for the robotics club or the fire station or just somebody and just have a boot out there for donations. And then after the fact, then we donate that money to the whoever,
How long does it usually last when they set up? Like, you go an hour, you go 2?
No, it would probably be, if we started at 4, I think it could be over by 8, maybe 9. Of course, you get in you get in the summer hours and it gets a little bit, lighter but I wouldn't think any, 4 to 5 hours or so.
So you
The
could have,
Hardee's one is usually like, it's usually 4:30 to 6.
That's correct, yes.
I mean, is there any way we could rent some rooms out of the building if it kind of becomes a stable thing? I mean, more of a planned event, something they know that's happening every quarter, or, I mean, is there,
I don't know what you mean by rent out a room.
well, they have the car show and people like it, people start attending, and it gets a little bit hotter. Maybe families that come, maybe want to have a place to, I don't know if they offer.
Cool off.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, yeah, we could do that back in the back.
And maybe an open restroom. I don't know what the facilities are in here, but that would be nice as well.
Well, that could also work out where using robotics as an example, could maybe have a food booth. If they're here that long and they want to eat.
If you could find out, I know that the people at the end of Steinsville Road, we usually let you guys stick a sign for the fall festival. If you see if they do it, we could stick one of the 40s or 50s trucks out there like a week before with a sign that says like this Friday, just so many people drive back and forth. I just think a lot of people don't know the signs will be here.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
I mean, if it's something that could be, planned ahead so that we know it's not like during the alumni banquet or some other town event we've got going on. Or like somebody's, like, for instance, Richie's dad's celebration of life back here. So it's, people, there's not a confusion of who's going where.
I could definitely get you some hard dates.
Yep.
Maybe once or twice and just try it out. Hey, if it fails, it fails. There, like I said, it could be all right. So,
Cool. Sounds good.
and then who do I need to work with? Do I need to work with the parks people about doing that, or?
You'll be talking to her probably.
Yeah, Lois
Lois.
is one contact over the community center. She's sitting behind you. Don't thump him on the head, Lois.
All right, anybody else?
What were you saying about the handicap down in front of the store?
Going to be marked a certain area for, just so that it's for handicap, because we've had people complain where they can't get in there that's been on the scooters, and
Gotcha.
where it's at now is not right, and it's not going to stay.
Yeah, it should be where the blue line is. It should be behind.
Yeah,
And the ramp.
Yeah, it should be behind it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those updates, we should be putting on the website, correct? That way people can have access to it when changes are made, so you guys know well in advance.
Right.
So use our website, we have one, so. That updated for you. Good central area, we can go get information where stuff changes.
Anything else?
What about,
Where,
go ahead. What about the old trucks down there? We ain't got no place to park, get a sandwich. I'm gonna
I
say,
parked those for a reason, because the buildings are moving. So if the buildings fall and they fall on the old trucks, then I don't know, you guys can cover it. So that's why I parked it.
ain't that what the big poles you got up to hold it up?
If that thing falls, it's gonna fall way out into the street. Yeah, the wood is holding it, but I mean, it's moving, and it's like, I can't just go in there and, I mean, I would take the whole front of the building off piece by piece and rebuild it, but that's not what the Historic Society is gonna allow me to do. So I'm kind of caught. So I know that I'm taking up your parking, I just.
Well,
If it's fell on and you can.
It's about
the unsafe
building.
I'm saying it was, several people talked about it, I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, and I'm not doing it to be a jerk. I just, like I said, if it fell on a diesel truck and it was, all of a sudden I owe somebody 80 grand. And just for the record, the buildings have this weird umbrella liability insurance on them, but it's not good. And if you guys have ever dealt with insurance from me, they always want to take your money. They never want to. So, just an ounce of prevention.
Yes.
yeah, dead end street that keeps getting blocked. I want like a parking sign or something on it.
Have what?
Holy Street, the dead end. Want it. My cousin's in parking there, and it's my easement, it's my property, so what do I do about that?
What part are we talking about?
Probably by-
The old concrete park's right there off the edge of it, and it's dead end all the way to my property, and it's about 30 feet from the road.
Brent, that's gonna be something you guys are gonna have to check out. So talk with him and let him know where it's at. Anything else?
The bazaar?
That's under announcement.
Oh, gotcha.
Nothing else? All right, just for some announcements coming up, the Hilly 100. Lois, did you have the dates on that? Because I don't, is it?
It's on there. It wasn't the third or something.
It's actually like the first something. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Didn't Leah just give you an email about it?
Yeah.
Is that the? Oh, yeah. Sorry, Leah.
All that.
You
rain
did, I had
fried
it.
his
Yeah,
road.
I don't want to read all this again, but so October 2nd and 3rd and 4th, the Hilly 100, and they've asked to use the building grounds again for their tent setup and all
What was the
that.
dates again, Scott? Sorry.
October 2nd, 3rd and 4th. There's not a map on here, so I'm not sure which way they're going, if they're coming back up the hill or whatever, but.
They usually need law enforcement assistance too, some of the, right?
This Saturday, the fire department's having a free breakfast here at the community center from 8 to 10. They're doing different things this year because this is the last year for Bean Blossom Township Steinsville Fire Department. It's its 70th year, and come January 1, they're Monroe Fire District. So they're doing everything, but not to make money, but to give back to everybody that wants to come and be a part of anything they do or have. So, 8 to 10, pancakes, biscuits and gravy, sausage, coffee, orange juice. Yeah, coffee. I think that's it.
Is that the 10th or 11th?
11.
11th?
You go
So-
to them.
And my cooking's gone.
You should be, but.
I'll be helping.
I got there if I wanted to come or not.
And then the town is hopefully going to do the town cleanup again this year. Normally it's in April, but since we're already in April, we're going to do it in May. So we're looking at the dates of the 16th and 17th. So there will be a dumpster in the back of the building here in the grass or the gravel area. Bring your stuff, get rid of it. There's certain items we can't take, and it's like paint, car batteries,
Oil, yeah.
oils, yeah, stuff like that. Don't bother
No
bringing it
TVs
because
and
somebody
all that
did
stuff.
last year and I had to make them take it and they got mad. It's like, nope, you can't take that,
And you have to be a town resident.
but feel free to bring it. We'll be there. And it helps each year. That's all I've got. You got anything?
Bazaar. We have
Oh,
the
yeah,
bazaar on
when
the
is that? That's this
The
Saturday.
25th.
Or the last Saturday of April, yeah. Spring Bazaar.
Lads and Lassies, I think the park okayed us to do the food this year because robotics is going to be a competition.
They're going to World again.
I'm
So
gonna work. And
I think Kelsey,
So,
I think Brooklyn,
Kelsey's working as well.
Yeah.
yeah, Brooklyn said that Kelsey had reached out and so I know it's going to be tacos in a bag.
And they're
Like,
doing
there's gonna be
something
cinnamon
for-
rolls
Yeah, for breakfast time,
breakfast.
you know.
Mhm.
So, and that money goes to help the community center. So, booth spaces are still open if anybody knows of anybody. $10, 10 by 10. From 9 to 4. All right, anything else? You got anything?
Me? No, I'm sorry,
Richie?
I'm running.
Last chance, anybody? Richie? Yo.
Oh, tree beds.
3 bids.
Oh,
There's a tree in the creek by A2 Railroad Creek. The limb issues, like dying limbs and stuff, so the town has agreed because we didn't know whose it was. If it was that property or the property across the street, the town's going to take it down. So we've got 3 bids. One is from Petty Sons Tree Service, $4,500. Another is All Pro Tree and Land Services for $1,875, and the other one is Fosnos Tree Service for $2,700.
So are all of them insured?
They're all insured.
Bosna was what,
2,700.
27, and the All Pro,
1875.
1875.
Now, they're just leaving it or picking it up?
They are going to leave it.
Golly.
I know, but they're gonna leave it, save some money on the town for cleanup, that way.
Down by 8.
Done by 8 tonight. Are you insured, Jeff?
We can hook up our bloodhound and just have that, but drag it down.
What's my company? Insurance covered, I guess.
Wrap up the bid real quick.
Yep, there you go. Yep.
We've seen it, yeah.
I mean, if you're seriously interested in doing that, then you could go look at it and bring a bid back to Leah. And we could look at that at the
If
same
it's
time we do
leaving it, I
mowing.
don't need to put a bid in, I'll take it down.
What,
Oh, well.
Yeah, I'll fix the tree.
Pretty decent sized tree.
do we know what species of tree it is?
I've been told 2 different things. I've been told it's an elm and I've been told it's a hackberry. I don't know.
It's wood.
Big difference.
As
It's
for
a big
neighbors,
tree.
it's a pain.
It's hard breaking it up, yeah.
So Billy, to answer, are you asking for firewood?
Nope, I got plenty.
Okay, well, that was kind of why I thought maybe they should take it down and leave it. We can, somebody needs firewood, we'll get it chopped up and leave it for whoever to come
I mean,
take.
they
How
can't,
soon you needing it gone?
Last year.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll go take a look at it. Yeah.
That's the one behind
They'll
the,
see it.
Well, that's nice.
Oh,
yeah.
They do your trip.
Did you hear that?
I don't like it.
We'll put somewhere.
I mean, as long as they're insured and nobody gets hurt, everything's.
It doesn't fall in a house.
Yeah, I can.
Just stay out of the way.
I can.
Just stay out of the way. Forget it.
I got a series of property management company that I own, so
Down in the valley.
it is property management, stuff like this.
now that he's here, you can ask him about your food truck too.
I was going to. Did you get everything worked out with
Yeah,
Monroe
we're ready
County?
to go.
Yes.
We're booking up.
Good. Good.
Yeah, we're doing the Oldville, Little League opening Saturday and then down in Bedford next week and, yeah.
Well, hey, maybe if there's a car show here, you might want to pull it in.
There you go.
Just let me know.
And
Yeah.
festival.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Anytime
festival.
it's in Steinville, we'll donate.
we
Oh, that's so
desperately
nice of you.
need
Thank you.
food
Oh,
trailers
thank you.
for the
It's not
festival.
gonna hurt like anything.
If you want to get it, hey Chad, if you want to get like a food truck Friday started out here, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Can't get that, if it's, mile and a half down the road. We're gonna do, I talked to Deb, I know this summer, I'll bring it out, like on Friday and feed the kids.
Oh,
And the
good.
kids and families or
Yeah.
whatever, all that,
Cool.
make sure, I'll cook enough so they can have dinner, lunch, and
That's
probably
nice.
do that one day a week, at least,
That's nice.
So what
Thank
do you,
you.
what do you sell on your food truck?
everything. I mean, just cheeseburgers, hot dogs, hot dogs, nachos.
Oh, I didn't know, yeah.
Depends on the event, we're doing this.
Friday night's prime rib.
McQuarrie concert, going to see a concert, I'm doing a lot of stuff. over
Oh,
there.
wow.
Cool, yeah.
You're gonna be busy.
Yeah, so
You're gonna be busy.
we were booking up, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. but
So what's the name of it?
Snack Shack without no C's, so it's
Oh, okay.
S-A-N,
Pretty cool.
S-N-A-K.
Yeah.
Huh,
Like,
cool.
well, we're glad it all worked out.
Hey, when you do your car thing, you need to get a hold of this guy about his food truck.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're here
Yeah,
4 or 5 hours, I'm
exactly.
sure somebody's gonna want to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
and
got
your
pictures.
your family was here renting the cafeteria on Saturday,
I rented it,
Yeah,
Pretty sure,
yeah.
yep.
because they come into the store and we're shopping
Oh,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it was nice.
You got to meet all my
It was
grandkids.
nice. They were fun.
Bert was here? Oh, Bert was here?
Bert was up there, yeah, he's running around.
All right. Anything else?
Are they really serious about doing the, sorry, Leah, I know you're ready to go, but are they really serious about getting?
Yeah, we'll have it down. Let they know which one it is. Yeah. Kobe, we'll do it.
Show me
the tree.
I'll talk to you guys in a second. I got pictures.
Go ahead. So, on the road.
There you go.
All right.
Guess it will cost us anything to do it.
Now I can spend money.
No, we can't.
All right. With that being said, we're adjourned.